I'm Jackie Olson, or Jacleen Olson, and I graduated from MSU in 2007. And, so yeah, I started in fall 2003. My first show there was Kiss Me Kate. And from there, it luckily took off. My favorite roles were Hope and Urinetown. My first big role was Georgianne in Five Women Wearing the Same Dress, and it was one of Paul Finicaro's first shows, and that was a lot of fun, and it was a lot of great people. Then I ended with Mama Rose and Gypsy, which was a huge role, probably too big to be playing at 22, but that's okay. It was a lot of fun. And what else here and there? I did a lot of Highland. So my favorite roles I can remember were Sheila and the Boys Next Door. I had a ton of fun playing that. Jan in Grease was also a lot of fun. The cast was awesome. Oh, geez. Totally liking Salome and the Robber Bridegroom was one of the ones I was probably most surprised with how much fun I was going to have with it. I remember we were all pretty bummed how it was only like 4 performances or something. We're pretty bummed about that. Oh well, what do you do? Yeah, I graduated with the BFA in Acting, and although I did a lot of musicals, and so when I started, it was Dr. Hustles, of course, and then Dr. Nina Lenore. She directed the second show I was in, You Can't Take It With You, and let me see. I feel like that was like a weird year, because was it Shannon was leaving? Is that her name?
Shannon Moore? Or Jennifer Engler?
No, I never had Jennifer. But, I don't remember. But then Paul Finicaro came in the next year, and that was a ton of fun. Did a lot of fun shows with him as well. Will Rogers Follies was a lot of fun, doing all the dancing on those stairs with all those girls. And yeah, I did quite a few shows with Dr. Hustles. I did a couple with Nina. Another fun one was the Royal Shakespeare Company's Beauty and the Beast. Got to play the wicked stepsister with Carrie Solar. Or not Carrie and I always kind of were teamed up together, it seemed like, but it was fun. Didn't do too much dancing. Tried. I like tapping. That was probably what I did the most, even though we didn't use it that much. Well, I mean, I of course wanted to just perform whenever possible. I guess I never had huge dreams to go to New York and do that sort of thing. I'm very family orientated, so I always kind of knew it would be hard to leave them. I did try it for a little bit, and by a little bit I mean like a week, and it was interesting. Just didn't really feel like the lifestyle. I went to a couple auditions, and just the whole sitting around for 8 hours thing just wasn't for me, and that was fine. And there's plenty of theater to do in the Twin Cities, so it wasn't that really heartbreaking for me or anything, and I'm glad I at least tried a couple auditions out there. Of course, could have tried it longer, but...
Where was out there?
New York City.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, it was a very short time. And, but, yeah, so I guess, and I've always wanted to teach as well, and so one of the things I should have done was double majored, and because I did want to teach theater and any age level, I guess, but probably high school the most. So that's kind of still the plan. Right out of college, I worked at Bloomington Civic Theater, and where else? Lyric Arts in Anoka. Just a fun little place to work. Did dinner theater show, Seasons Dinner Theater, Christmas show there. And then things kind of got screwed up. I got cancer. What do you do? So that kind of derailed things, but I am glad it happened, because it completely changed my life around, even solidified more what was important to me and kept me driven and all this sort of thing. And it was hard because I had to watch a lot of my friends move forward with their careers. Jared Oxborough, for instance, his career shot off, and Molly Fisher and Claire Wellen. So, of course, I was very excited for them, beyond excited, but it was hard. Kind of be derailed a little bit, but it also, I'm very competitive, so it also pushed me to really get back in there. So as soon as I could, I did. And let me see, my first, after, because I had to have a couple stem cell transplants, and trying to think what my first show was back. I was about to open Jesus Christ Superstar as Mary Magdalene, and then I had to go have a transplant, so that sucked. And then I was also about to have my first out-of-state job at the Roxy Regional, but I had a transplant. So I have a love-hate relationship with stem cell transplants, but no, obviously I'm very grateful. I'm trying to remember my first show back. I know I'm blinking, but I know for sure I did White Christmas at Lyric Arts, and that was awesome because that was my first completely, we sold out before opening, and we added a show, and so that was my first time experiencing anything that intense, and it was a ton of fun. And then just this past fall, I did Lysistrata at Theater in the Round, and I had been wanting to do that show since theater history. I just thought it was so funny, and our director wrote the adaptation. Yeah, I'm trying to remember. It was the early 90s when they first did it, and his name's Craig Johnson, and he's pretty well known around the cities for directing and acting. And his adaptation was just is hysterical. I'd do the show again in a heartbeat. And so I did that this past fall, and then after that I did Annie at Minnetonka Theater, and Greta Grosh, another alum, was playing Miss Hannigan in it, so it was kind of fun to cross paths and talk. And then the director, Trent Boyum, who was also an MSU alum. So we kind of, although we were there at Trent and Greta were there at the same time, but it was fun to meet them and everything, and that was a fun experience. Got to play 5 different roles, so I was constantly running around and changing and becoming all these different characters. And now I am having a show here. It's an hour and a half or something. I'm doing 9 to 5 musical with an awesome cast. We have a Broadway vet in there and national tour people, and so it's crazy being with that kind of talent. And I'm very impressed how normal they are too. They're not divas or anything, and because I kind of feel like a little guy coming in there, but no, everyone's great, and I'm having a ton of fun. It is everywhere. It is literally the 57-year-old who does it for fun, and then we have Jen Burley-Benz, who starred in Mamma Mia on Broadway. So there's there's the greatest range, but you may be able to tell, they may not have as much experience, but everyone works together so well, and it doesn't matter what training they've had. Everyone works just as hard and is committed, and so that's been really awesome to see too. They're very professional at Minnetonka. It's at their arts center on 7 is what it's called, but it's connected to their high school, and I was very impressed with their professionalism during Annie, so that was another reason why I came back to do another show. So the roles I have,
okay.
Yeah. So I'm trying to think. I know for this they were giving a gas stipend for everybody, but I had a lead role contract, so I got a little more. Yay. But yeah, for the most part, you want to get paid. But in the end, if it's going to be a great experience for you and whatever, I say go for it. You got to do what's best for you. And whether you want to call it my job or my hobby, I don't really care as long as I'm happy doing it. So, it doesn't make or break my life, but it's making me happy. So that's all I can really ask for. And yeah, I just started work. So after my transplants, I had to take some time off to recover, and I was crazy and started working full time right when I started rehearsals for the show. So I went from doing nothing pretty much besides Annie last December to working full time and doing a show. So that was kind of ridiculous of me, but yeah, I'm working at a nonprofit organization, Mental Health Resources. It assists adults with different mental diseases. A lot of them are unable to work because of it or work very little. And I am a program support specialist, so I just kind of give everybody their stuff so they can do their jobs and interact with the clients, which I love because I love just working with people. And so yeah, I've been doing that just since the end of May this year, and been thinking about going back to school too, so trying to figure that out as well, because like I've mentioned before, I have always been interested in teaching, so that's kind of on the plate next, but I'm already very overwhelmed, so I need to settle down a little bit. Yeah.
Are there some things that you are either glad that you did in college or wish that you had done in college to help you through your trials and tribulations?
Yeah. I guess, well, it probably goes before college. Would have danced more growing up. And in college it was tough, but I played a lot of sports growing up, so I didn't take the dance lessons. I was playing softball and basketball, and I have awesome memories in them, so I wouldn't take them back, but especially trying to be a professional actor, if you're a triple threat, that's what you want to be. That'll be a big deal, especially being a girl. Sorry, but guys do have it a little bit easier here, just because there's less of them. But yeah, so I guess probably just taking some more dance if possible. I got to do some fun shows and some great roles. I was very, very blessed to play some of the roles I did. I really did not know what I was doing going into college. I knew I liked theater. Where I grew up, there really wasn't any theater available, so I knew I had a lot to learn, but I was ready to learn it, and I feel like I did. And just learning everything, just going from knowing I could kind of sing but I knew I didn't know anything about acting, just to graduating with the lead in the show was just huge to come full circle like that, and to still be performing now and feeling confident with it. And because at first it was hard to feel you have to be so totally exposed with everything. In class you have to do the goofiest assignments, acting techniques I still have nightmares about, because I felt so uncomfortable sometimes. But that would be probably one of the things that I could go back and change, was just not to care so much, just to let it all out there. But I think for some people, they become more comfortable in their skin as they get older too. And that was something for me that didn't happen until a little later in life, I guess, was to fully be confident with who I was. But confidence was something I did grow in the theater department. So I am thankful for that.